here. Today we're going to have a little look at a piece called Snow Walk. It's on the unaccompanied list for the ABRSM Grade 1 Flute. It's by a modern composer called James Ray, who writes tons and tons of studies for flute that have all got a little bit of a jazzy feel, or sometimes they have quite a nice story to tell. This one is a storytelling piece, so you've got to imagine you are going on a walk down a very quiet road with lots of little snowflakes dropping. So you can imagine it might be quite quiet and quite delicate. First of all, I'm going to play it through for you, and then we're going to have a look at the building blocks of this piece and what the examiner is going to be looking for in your exam. So let's have a look at the building blocks of this piece. First of all, we're going to look at the key signature. It's got a flat in the beginning, which means we've got to play a B flat throughout. So you can either do your first finger and your first finger, or you can put your thumb onto the B flat key. Now this means that it matches the scale of F major, which is on your grade 1. So first of all, we're going to play that together now. So we start on a low F. We're going to go all the way up to our high F with our B flat on the way up. So all the way through this piece, you've got to remember to put that B flat in. Now, if we're in 4/4, which means we have 4 beats in every single bar, and even though this is unaccompanied, we have some rests. Those rests are really important, so make sure you definitely count them. There's one in bar 3, there's one in bar 8, 9, 8, oh. Even though this piece is unaccompanied, we have some rests. There's one in bar 3, one in bar 8, one in bar 12. And they're really important because the silence is just as important in keeping the pulse of this going as the notes themselves, so don't rush over those. You can breathe or tap your foot in the rest to help you practice. The rhythm in this is really simple. We've got mostly 1 beat notes, some 2 beat notes, and some longer notes towards the end. However, in bar 6, we have a dotted crotchet. That means there's a dot after the note to make it a 1.5 beat note. You can make up a little word to help you remember the rhythm here. So bar 6, we might go Coca-Cola. It's a totally different rhythm to the beginning, and that's because it's almost like a question and answer. So it's really important we get that in there. Here's the first phrase. We're going to call this a question. And then we get the answer with our dotted rhythm. Little phrase, the music completely changes, and we've got some big slurs arcing over most of the notes, so we need to be really careful to count up how many notes are under these slurs. The first one, we've got 5 notes, then we've got 3, and then we've got 4. The examiner is going to be really keen to hear that you get all of those in. So here's the next phrase. Phrase is very, very similar to the beginning. very end, when we're thinking of rhythm, we're also maybe thinking about the pulse. There's the word rit above the last 2 bars. That literally means slow down. It's ritenuto. So the last 3 notes we're going to pull back, and this is going to help us feel like we've really ended somewhere. Our walk has got to the end. And the last note has a little fermata over the top, a little hat, that means it's a pause that goes on for a very long time. So we're thinking about our walk. So I'm just going to play the last 4 bars again, so you can really hear that slowing down. The examiner will always be looking for extra things that really make this piece sparkle, and because it's got such a cute character with these little snowflakes, we need to put in some articulations. I've already mentioned that there's some slurs in the 3rd phrase, but they actually pop up all the way through. The first 2 notes, for example, are connected by a little line. That slur means that you're going to tongue the first note and keep blowing to do the next note. And then a couple of bars later, we've got 3 notes connected, so you need to tongue the first note and you just keep blowing until you've finished where the slur ends, in this case 3 notes. You'll notice that there are some spots over the top of some of the other notes. These are staccatos, which means short and detached. So to do this, instead of a tar, a normal tonguing, you've got to do them as short as possible. So here's a normal one. I've got my t at the start and a little bit of air afterwards. If I want to make it a staccato, I've got to make it really detached and light and spiky. It doesn't make the notes faster, it just means that we've got to separate them out a little bit. And because this is a walk, we want it to be nice and even, so we've got to imagine that we're the ones treading through the snow, and the little staccato notes are like the snowflakes. So have a think about that image in your head when you hear this first part. And that's going to help make this music sound really interesting. The examiner will also be looking for the dynamics, which are the loud and quiet instructions. We've got some MPs at the beginning, which is mezzo piano or moderately quiet, and then we have an MF just over our new slurred section. So the different section, we're going to get louder, mezzo forte, moderately loud, and then to go to the end we are back to MP, which is quiet. Have another listen to the whole piece. We're going to put in all this dynamics, all the art. Have another listen to the whole piece. I'm going to put in all the dynamics and the articulations for you to listen to, just like I did in the beginning, and I want you to try and play along. Practicing this one, and I hope you've enjoyed our tutorial today. Check out our YouTube channel for more grade 1 pieces and pieces from the other grades.